The first question to ask is your retainer general or is it limited? If it's limited, what is included in your retainer and what is not? Many lawyers find themselves in a difficult situation because they took a restricted view of their retainer. They say, "She didn't ask me to do that. He didn't instruct me on that. They didn't retain me to advise them of the ramifications." The problem is, clients don't always know what to ask, but a competent lawyer knows what they should be asking. You may think it's obvious that a lawyer acting for the seller of a business is not providing tax or financial advice, but this is often not clear to the client at all. Here's an example from our claim files. There were two shareholders in a private company. One shareholder wanted to sell his shares to the other shareholder. They arrived at a price, and the selling shareholder went to his lawyer to complete the deal. The lawyer completed the transaction, assuming that the seller was obtaining tax advice from his accountant. Unfortunately, that was not the case. Huge tax consequences flowed to the selling shareholder, who advanced a claim against his lawyer for his loss. Ultimately, because the retainer was unclear, LIF ended up paying out over $400,000 to settle that claim. So what can you do? Look at the big picture and assume nothing. Clearly explain to your client what work is and is not included in your retainer, and put it in writing in your retainer letter. Also explain and spell out in writing any work your client has agreed to undertake. Warn your client of the risks and consequences of limiting your retainer. And do not accept unreasonable limits on your retainer. In some matters, the legal issues are just too complex, technical, or critical to leave to the client. And finally, properly end your retainer. Make it part of your standard practice to send a disengagement letter, putting the onus on the client for anything that needs to be done in the future, such as upcoming limitation periods, exercising options, or any future filings.